Good day, distinguished listeners. Welcome to another edition of Amugate Radio Communications. We're starting a new series today. I am Adiola Gbadebo, and it's a pleasure to have you join us today. ARC is an initiative of Amugate Management Consult, where our commitment is to developing transformational leaders, strengthening institutions, and equipping individuals and organizations with the knowledge, competencies, and mindsets required to thrive in an increasingly complex world. Every quarter, we explore issues that shape leadership, organizational effectiveness, career development, entrepreneurship, governance, and personal excellence. So our theme for this quarter is The Advantage, Winning Beyond Talent. The Advantage, Winning Beyond Talent. This series addresses one of the greatest misconceptions about success. Most people usually say that talent alone determines how far people go in life. And I would like to debunk that notion. If talent were enough, every gifted employee would become an outstanding leader. Every brilliant graduate will become a successful professional. Every gifted entrepreneur would build a thriving business. Every talented athlete then would become a champion. Yet, experience consistently tells us otherwise. So after more than 2 decades of consulting with organizations, coaching professionals, and observing leadership across different sectors, I have come to one undeniably conclusion. Talent may get you noticed, but it is really what sustains success. Today, we will explore why. What is talent? What is talent? Before discussing why talent is insufficient, I think it's in order that we first define what talent is. So, talent is a person's natural ability to perform certain activities with relative ease. Some people think analytically, just their makeup. Others communicate effortlessly. Some possess exceptional creativity. Others naturally inspire confidence. So, talent represents potential. Potential, however, is different from performance. Human resource personnel often encounter applicants with impressive academic records, exceptional technical knowledge, and outstanding interview performances. Yet, 6 months down the line, a few months later, some become the organization's highest performance, while others struggle to meet expectations. What can we say happened to them? The difference was not intelligence. The difference was execution. So organizations are increasingly discovering that technical competence is only one dimension of effectiveness. Today's workplace rewards a broader combination of competencies. So we have a changing definition of success. So success has been redefined. 20 years ago, organizations hired primarily for technical competence, the technical know-how. Today, employers evaluate far more than technical knowledge. Increasingly, so organizations ask individuals, they ask for individuals or seek for individuals who can learn continuously, who can adapt to change, who can solve problems, who can collaborate effectively, work in a team, and be effective team member, be an effective team member, communicate clearly, clarity in communication, manage emotions, that is, be emotionally intelligent, lead people, demonstrate integrity, and then people who can think strategically. So individuals that company are consistently looking for. These capabilities are what HR professionals are, often described as behavioral competencies. So in many executive recruitment exercises, candidates possess almost identical qualifications. The deciding factor becomes attitude, not aptitude. The advantage is no longer simply what you know. It is how effectively you apply what you know. Talent, although very good, could be leveraged on, but talent has about five limitations. Let's start. 1, talent does not replace discipline. Talent does not replace discipline. Now, one of the greatest predictors of long-term success is consistency. Discipline is the ability to perform important tasks regardless of mood. High performers do not rely on motivation, they rely on systems. Successful professionals create routines. They prepare, they review, they improve, they execute. Average performers often wait until they feel inspired. Leaders understand that excellence is a habit. Leaders also understand that excellence is not a destination, it's a journey. Consider elite athletes. The world celebrates them on competition day. What people really see are the thousands of hours of disciplined preparation that occurred long before the applause. Cristiano Ronaldo is one of the best footballers. In fact, is regarded as one of the greatest footballers of all times. And there are reports about his discipline, his exceptional discipline in the things he eats, the things he drinks, where he goes, and on the training field. It is reported that he is one of the first to arrive, to come to the training ground, and then after the trainings is one of the last to leave also. He just keeps driving himself. Little wonder at 42 he's still playing World Cup and still, quite agile, playing active football. This same principle applies to leadership, business, and career success. Number 2, talent does not guarantee emotional intelligence. Talent does not guarantee emotional intelligence. Now, research and workplace experience consistently demonstrate that careers are often limited not by intelligence but by emotional maturity. So many technically brilliant professionals lose opportunities because they cannot receive feedback, they cannot resolve conflicts, they cannot work with diverse personalities, they cannot manage stress, and they cannot regulate their emotions. They cannot regulate their emotions. Leadership today is increasingly relational. People do not merely follow intelligence, they follow trust. Emotional intelligence makes leaders to influence rather than control. That's what makes them an influential person, not control. So it enables teams to collaborate instead of compete internally. Any team that a city divided against itself shall not stand. If you're competing against one another in a team, then the team is not going anywhere. This is one of the reasons organizations now invest significantly in executive coaching. Number 3, talent becomes obsolete without continuous learning. Talent becomes obsolete without continuous learning. Now, the world changes faster than ever before. Artificial intelligence, automation, digital transformation, remote work, data analysis, cybersecurity, green economies. Many professionals that existed 10 years ago have changed dramatically. Some have disappeared entirely. The greatest competitive advantage today is not simply expertise. It is a learning agility, the ability to learn, to have to expand your mind, to learn and keep learning. We usually say to learn, to unlearn, and then to relearn. So learning agility is the willingness and ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Those who stop learning eventually stop leading. Those who stop learning eventually stop leading. Number 4, talent cannot replace character. Talent cannot replace character. Oh, a talented man without character is a disaster waiting to happen. Every organization depends on trust. Trust between leaders and employees. Trust between businesses and customers. Trust between governments and citizens. Trust between professionals and clients. Competence earns opportunities. Character preserves them. Your talent can throw you to the front, but it's character that will keep you there. It's character that will keep you there. Every year, organizations lose valuable employees, not because they lacked ability, but because they demonstrated dishonesty, arrogance, abuse of authority, or unethical conduct. Your reputation is one of your greatest professional assets. Protect it intentionally. We've got a short break now, and after we will go to number 5.
At Armor Gates Training, we believe professional development should do more than inform. It should transform how people work, lead, and deliver results. That's why we support organizations through conceptual insight, practical learning, and performance evaluation right at the intersection of leadership, strategy, and institutional transformation. Our approach focuses on practical learning format that professionals can immediately apply in their workplace. At Armor Gate, we don't teach theory alone. We equip participants with real-world insight drawn from almost 2 decades of organizational transformation experience. Our programs combine multiple learning methods designed for real-time measurable results. Through seminars, we facilitate deep conversation on key subjects. Using group exercises, participants collaborate, reflect, and think strategically. With case studies, they then sharpened analytical and decision-making skills using real industry scenarios. Through relevant videos, we spark insightful discussions using relatable real-life context. All in all, every participant develops an individual work plan, ensuring the learning turns into real action after the program. Our training programs are hosted in world-class venues across global cities, including Addis Ababa, Nairobi, Mombasa, Cape Town, Dubai, Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, London, Florida, and Washington, D.C. Let's work with you to turn learning into your organization's growth. For more inquiries, call +234 807 9574 151 or WhatsApp +1 610 504 6026. Visit www.thearmorgate.org. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn at Armorgate. Armorgate Training, transforming knowledge, interaction, and growth.
Welcome back to Armorgate Radio Communications, where we've been discussing a new series, The Advantage, Winning Beyond Talent. And so we're talking about beyond talent. Why gift alone is not enough. We talked about that if talent were enough, every gifted employee would become an outstanding leader. And we define talent as a person's natural ability to perform certain activities with relative ease. We did say that talent represents potential, but potential is different from performance. One of the things that we stated categorically was that human resource professionals encounter, they come across applicants with impressive academic records. Oh, they have exceptional technical knowledge, and they do so well during the interviews. However, after they are hired, 6 months down the line, some become the organization's highest performers, while some others continue to struggle to meet their expectations. And then we said that the difference was not intelligence, the difference was in execution. And then we started talking about 5 limitations of talent. One of them is that talent does not replace discipline. Share the story of Ronaldo, how disciplined he is off and on the pitch during training, and how he continuously tasks himself to be at the peak always. We spoke about number 2, where we said talent does not guarantee emotional intelligence. That someone is talented does not mean that person will be able to relate with people. And then we said talent becomes obsolete without continuous learning. Of course, there's so many spheres of knowledge that transformation has come into, that has been transformed. In fact, some things that we believed used to be formally have now been completely discarded because there's new knowledge about such things. And the fourth one, we said talent cannot replace character. And I did say that talent may bring you to the top, but it's character that will sustain you. Yeah, every organization depends on trust. So we said your reputation is one of your greatest professional assets, and I did advise that you protect it intentionally. So let's go to number 5 now, where I said talent alone does not create value. Talent alone does not create value. Yes, ultimately, organizations reward value, not efforts, not intentions, not titles. Because value answers one simple question: whose problem are you solving? People who consistently create solutions become indispensable. Whether you are an accountant, you may be a teacher, an engineer, a doctor, a business owner, a public servant, you could even be a student. Your long-term relevance depends on your ability to improve someone's situation. That is, your long-term relevance depends on your ability to solve someone's problem. We can even say that to improve someone's situation. Yeah. So the marketplace rewards value creation. As long as you are creating value, as long as you are turning in value, as long as you are solving problems, the market keeps rewarding you. Now, so what is the real advantage? What is the real advantage? If talent alone is insufficient, what then creates sustainable success? So after years of consulting and coaching, I believe sustainable success rests on several interconnected advantages. I'll go through them and then we will rest for today. 1, discipline. Doing what must be done consistently. 2, listening. Remaining intellectually curious. Learning, remaining intellectually curious. Listening, deliberate, active listening. Taking feedback. Adaptability, responding positively to change. Integrity, earning trust over time. Emotional intelligence, building healthy relationships. Resilience, recovering from setbacks. Strategic thinking, seeing opportunities before others do. Value creation, making meaningful contributions wherever you serve. When these qualities combine with talent, extraordinary performances becomes possible. Talent is the seed. Talent is the seed. These qualities determine the harvest. So as talent is the key, all these qualities I've mentioned above determine how the harvest will look like. So as we conclude today's discussion, I would like to leave you with 7 questions. Take time this week to answer them honestly. Number 1, what natural talents or strengths am I relying on too heavily? Number 2, which professional competency do I need to improve immediately? Number 3, am I learning fast enough to remain relevant over the next 5 years? How would colleagues describe my attitude? That's number 4. How will colleagues describe my attitude? Number 5, what reputation am I building? What reputation, what name am I trying to build? Number 6, what measurable value do I consistently create? What measurable value do I consistently create? Number 7 is, if my ability disappears tomorrow, if my challenge rather disappears tomorrow, what other strengths will still make me employable or valuable? Ladies and gentlemen, your answers to these questions may become the beginning of your next level of growth. Okay, so here are the key takeaways from today's broadcast. Before we leave, remember these 5 lessons. Talent creates opportunities. Discipline produces excellence. Character builds trust. Continuous learning ensures relevance. Value creation sustains long-term relationships and long-term success. The most successful people are rarely those with the greatest natural gifts. They are often those who deliberately develop themselves every single day. This is the real advantage. All right, I'll give us the quote of this week. Talent determines your starting point. Discipline growth determines your finishing point. Before my closing points today, I'd like to let you know that we're expecting your feedback. You can send us an email on contact at thearmorgate.org. Contact at thearmorgate.org. And you can visit us. You can check out our social media handles. We're on LinkedIn. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. All at Armorgate. That is an interesting place. I always like to introduce people to. It's our YouTube channel. You know why? The reason is because it's a bank of resources. Recordings of broadcasts of many of us over the years. You can get them, on the. You can get them on that YouTube channel. So I advise that you subscribe to the YouTube channel. You like that, like it, subscribe to it, and turn on notifications so that you don't miss any point, any of our broadcasts. So you can also contact us on our WhatsApp number. That is +234 810 999 6666. I'll take it again. +234 810 999 6666. In closing, I just want to thank you for joining on another series on Armorgate Radio Communication. For next week, we'll continue this series with an equally important conversation titled The Discipline Advantage. Now we'll be taking each of those advantages one by one. So we'll start with the discipline advantage, winning through consistency. Until then, keep it up, keep learning, keep growing, keep creating value, and remember that Your greatest competitive advantage is not what you were born with, it is what you chose to become. I'm Adeola Gbanibo once again. Thank you for listening and have a productive week ahead.
Harmogate, founded in 2008 out of a desire to build transgenerational structures for organizations, institutions, and nations. We have worked with large businesses, international development organizations, and public sector ministries and agencies. Harmogate, our uniqueness is that we do not just work for you, we work with you. For example, we do not leave you to the task after sourcing talent that will help the new hire settle into robust leadership development programs. We are technical experts in advising and supporting institutions on strategy and leadership, artificial intelligence, strategic human resource management, public sector reform, finance, audit and tax, FAT, and strategic communications. We do all this and more out of a desire to transform nations through institutions and organizations. For further inquiries, email contact@theharmogate.org or call +234 810 999 6666 +234 807 957 4151 and +161 0504 6026 www.theharmogate.org. Harmogate, building to endure and transforming nations through institutions and organizations.